What's up, Dragon Brood? Thanks for stopping by today. We're going to be doing something fun and different and absolutely ridiculous, but we're going to be taking a look at the Planeswalkers of Magic and figuring out which ones are the most dateable. Absolutely no strategy here. We're just having dumb geek conversations, over analyzing things, and just having some fun entertainment here with just a whole different type of content. So grab a drink, strap yourselves in, and let's go enjoy some silliness. Starting at the top, we have Ajani, right? Which Ajani's like the goodest dude of good dudes, right? Like, so we're gonna have to assume Ajani can't be worse than A tier, right? Like he'll defend you. He's loyal. He's a leader, right? He's got all the positive traits you want from somebody. But he has one glaring trait I thought about because it was funny. I've already thought about Ajani on this one. Like, because he's a cat, he can't be S tier. Because seriously, think about this. Like, you have people that have allergies to cats. That automatically makes it where he can't be a good partner for a lot of people. And some people are just dog people, which sad but true. So we can only really put Ajani at A tier. And that makes me a little sad, but A for Ajani, good start, right? Angrath, I think, is more of an issue. I don't know. Like, one, he's a pirate. So that already can't go great. You know what I mean? Like, pirates codes and all that. Like, can't really do much with that. He's also got rage issues, it seems like. That's probably not going to go well. So I'm probably going to put Angrath at, like, I don't know if it's F, but he's got to at least be D, working his way down to an F. I have a feeling a lot of these Planeswalkers are going to be like C tier or worse, now that I'm thinking about it. Like, this is not going to go well. Yeah, I agree with you. Seems like a disaster in the making. All right, so we're going to put him at D tier. Over the time, he might get downgraded to F tier before this is all done. Amanatu, I'm just out on entirely. Amanatu, I'm just putting down in the craziest, like, I got to change this thing. I'm going to put to not if my life depended on it. That's going to be our bottom tier. Like, honestly, I can't do Amanatu because he's got, like, creepy doll little kid vibes from, like, every horror movie. Right? Like, imagine of all these Planeswalkers, you're in an old building or in a field or whatever, and you see Amanatu just standing out in front of you. You're either throwing something at her or you're turning the F around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not happening. So just can't. I can't. Sorry, I know Amanatu's got fans, but I can't. Like, that alone is good. Like, if I'm not willing to even confront you, we can't go any further. Right? That's all I can give on that one. Like, I got nothing. So, like, that one to me feels like the easiest one. I can just go, nope, you're there. I don't know how many are going to end up in that tier, but Amanatu for sure ends up in that tier for me. I have no problem with that. So what do we got here? Werewolf Lady. I don't know. How do y'all feel about Arlen? I don't know where I want to put Arlen, honestly. I mean, kind of being a leader of a pack's kind of cool, right? Like, matriarch type figure. You still got werewolf stuff going on, so, you know, there'll probably be a part of the month where you're going to freak out on you a little bit, but, you know. Yeah, see, exactly. You agree on Amanatu, right? Like, if they're on a bus, you're taking the next one. Exactly. Like, that's good enough. Okay, so there's some B tier love. Arlen's an A. All right, so there's a lot of love for Arlen. Like, do we put our first dog next to our cat on A tier? I mean, is that what we're doing here? Like, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, A for Arlen also? I mean, is that what we're doing? Because I think it's reasonable. I don't have a lot of knocks on Arlen. I don't know. Is there some, like, crazy story stuff I don't know about Arlen that makes her kind of creepy or scary? Because, like, if not, I think we might put Arlen up at A tier. I mean, I might. Okay, everybody agrees. Everybody's kind of wanting to put Arlen at A. All right, I could get with that. Ashiok. Ashiok's kind of creepy. Ashiok's got creepy vibes. I don't know what to do with Ashiok. Like, this is... I think I don't, man. Not only that, Ashiok's got that creepy voice too. If you play Arena and you hear Ashiok's like vocals, I'm not sure, man. Yeah, I think it's got to be. I don't know if Ashiok's like not if my life depended on it type thing, but it might just be F tier. It might. Ashiok might be F tier. I think that's where I gotta go. Just too many creepy vibes. I think if you're too creepy, I just can't. I think that's a hold up for me. All right, Chandra. I think this is the one I'm gonna make some people feel bad on Chandra. Like, Chandra's too much of a hothead. Like, Chandra just wants to be mad and aggressive all the time and wants to burn stuff up. Like for those of you that are old school, she'd probably go like, what's her name that was in TLC and just burn down Andre Rijan's house? Like, that'd be the thing. Like, I don't know. You don't do the dishes one night? Like, your stuff might get burned up. Like, I mean, yeah, but she's not nearly the worst though. Because the thing is, she seems like she'd be loyal to a fault too. You know what I mean? Like she'd be there for you. She'd be ride or die. Yeah, I'm thinking C tier too. Because as much as you'd be afraid of her turning on you, she for real would probably go take somebody out for you too. So I'm gonna put Chandra up at C tier. Coincidentally, C for Chandra. See, somebody like Chandra's hot, but she might ruin your life. Like, maybe, I don't know, possibly. All right, who do we got next in line here? Is that Dak Faden on this? Okay, cool. We got Dak Faden here. Man, I don't know, because isn't Dak a thief? Like, isn't that the problem here? Like, if you can't trust him, like, how high can you rank him? You know what I mean? Like, if you know your friend's a thief, but you have another friend who's kind of into your friend, are you gonna really like be like, yeah, y'all should hook up? You're probably gonna be like, well, let me tell you some stuff about him, you know, like firsthand. And then if you decide to do it, okay, cool. So like, automatically can't be A tier, probably can't be B tier, maybe can't even be C tier, which is crazy. But like, if you're the greatest thief in the multiverse, you probably gotta be D, I think. Which is sad, but I think that's what we got to do. I don't think we have much choice on that one. Oh, I just realized this list doesn't have like Bazriket either because they're set up alphabetically. I just realized that one's missing from here, and Calyx also. But oh well, we'll just work with what we got because it's already going to take a while anyway. That's exactly it. You might get diamonds, but you might get gold. You don't know with that. All right, so we have Duretti. Duretti's a pretty interesting one, right? Because you got the whole goblin thing going on, which is, yeah, you know, you might be creeped out by goblins, you might not. And here's the thing, though. Real talk for a second, and this might offend some people, but Duretti has a wheelchair. That means you get handicap parking every time you go somewhere. Like, if you go to Disney World, you get front of the line access. You know what I mean? Like, there's some benefits. Like, he might be a creepy old goblin dude, but like, if you got a wheelchair, you do get some benefits you don't get otherwise. So, you know, maybe like, you know, I don't know. Like, I might be willing to go like B or C tier on a Duretti. I don't know much negative about him. I mean, maybe there's some stuff there I don't know about, but I'm kind of cool giving him like at least a C, and we'll think about upgrading him to B. We'll compare him to other things or other people, planeswalkers that we put in similar category, because he might get an upgrade. He might get an upgrade. It sounds a little crazy, but he might. Who's this next one we got here? Who's this icon? Is this Davriel? I think that's who it's supposed to be. He's got a little mask on. I think that's who it's supposed to be. B for princess parking. All right, well, we'll do that for now. Like, the parking might be valuable, especially if you live in a city or you're really busy. The parking could be a big deal. I don't know anything about Davriel. All I know is he's like a manipulative contract person, but he's kind of smart and it seems like he's got a lot of money. That matters to a lot of people. But outside of that, I got nothing. I don't know what to do with Davriel. He's gonna give you a hardcore prenup if you're trying to get married. Like, you know that's gonna be a thing with him. But like, if you're cool with the prenup, I guess he's all right. You know what I mean? He's kind of old school if you're into like that old, like, what's the dude from the Addams Family? Like the husband, if you kind of like that vibe, he's kind of got that going on. Maybe. So I could make him a solid B tier. And he seems like he's got lawyer money. Assuming Domri's not dead, because we saw him die during the War of the Spark. But let's say if Domri was alive still. Domri doesn't seem real smart. He's obviously not going to smell great because he hangs out with the Gruul all the time. He might be F tier. Like, dude just wasn't very intelligent. Doesn't seem like he's well educated at all, and on any level. Doesn't even have street smarts. Like, he probably smells bad. It's not going to be good material. So I'm putting him in F tier. Man, Elspeth might be near the top. Because here's the thing with Elspeth. Elspeth not only will defend you, she is literally willing to go to the depths of the underworld and back for you. Unless there's a serious argument against. I think I'm putting Elspeth. She might be S tier. Which we may not have a lot of S tier among the Planeswalkers. Now that I'm realizing we all have kind of some serious problems in this pile of folks. I think, unless there's a rebuttal, exactly, this might be the first one that we can say straight up. And like, don't get me wrong, I think Ajani is like, if there was an A.5 tier, I think that's where Ajani's almost S tier. But I think Elspeth is the first true S tier Planeswalker we have in this pile. I don't know anything about Estrid, actually. I mean, she's got a cool bald haircut and stuff, and seems to be like manipulating mask and things. But like, I don't know anything else about Estrid. I don't know what to do with her. So I may just have to, until I get some more intel, she might just have to hang out in C tier. I got to be fair. I can't give you higher, can't give you lower. I don't know enough about you. Like, she's like that one that like you see a picture on a dating app and you're like, kind of cute, but like, you didn't put anything in your bio. So, I'm just gonna like either let it sit there or I'm swiping left. Ooh, Freyalise. This is probably a good one. What do we do with Freyalise here? Because Freyalise has always seemed like pretty solid from what I can tell. I don't know what we do with Freyalise. Are like the green Planeswalkers gonna end up being like fairly solid folks? I just realized that. I don't know if there's a green Planeswalker that any of us are gonna necessarily hate. So see, Estrid, that's even worse for Estrid if she's on a dating app, because you're saying she's the type of person who like manipulates mash. We don't know who she is. So you know who she is? She's that person on the app that plays with all the filters. So you don't really even know what she looks like. You know what I'm saying? So like, I can't give her higher or lower than that. Like, I don't really know. So yeah. Freyalise. This is another one that I feel mostly good about, but I don't know a ton about. But she seems like she's an A-ish. A or B, maybe? Can't be lower than B, I don't think. I'm gonna put Freyalise up at an A tier. I think that's real. I don't know of anybody who would argue against that too much. Now Garruk, we're gonna have to have some discussions about Garruk. Because I sort of feel like Garruk is like, depends on when we meet him, right? Like if you meet college Garruk, he's still out wanting to just like kill things and go hunting all the time. And, he's trying to get his machismo on or whatever, right? But then if you meet like current day kind of dad bod Garruk, he's kind of watching out for the twins, Rowan and Will. And, like he's gone through his whole like crazy phase. He even had his weird interaction with the crazy hot chick and Liliana. Like he's gotten through that part of his life already. So now he's kind of doing the like friendly father figure type thing now, So like he comes with some baggage. You know what I mean? Like he comes with some baggage, but maybe we're all right. That's what I'm saying. We don't know which Garruk we're talking about. We just have generic Garruk as a total personality. Because I think if we'd have went with old school Garruk, like big crazy, like I'm gonna go kill everything with my axe, hunt down planeswalkers, whatever, wild Garruk, like that'd be an F tier for sure. Too much aggression, right? But like, now it seems like we've come around a little bit. Maybe, I mean, the thing is though, good with animals. For real, like if you're an animal person, you're going to be totally down with Garruk because he's going to find you he can control all the wolves and whatever. So that's kind of sweet, but also means he might spend a lot of time outside. Like if you're the type of person that doesn't like your significant other going out hunting every weekend, you'd have a problem with Garruk for real. He's big on that. So I'm thinking C tier. Like, not a terrible dude, good dude, but he's got his baggage and his issues. But, you know, maybe he needs to keep doing his wilderness thing because he needs that personal therapy time. So, can't fault him for it. Old Gideon. What do we do with Gideon? Gideon's willing to die for his friends. He's kind of a goody-goody. Does that make him automatic S tier? I mean, because, like, he's literally died for a friend in the face of, like, the craziest situation that Planeswalkers have dealt with. Like, that's... And he's always protecting people. Like, maybe to a fault. But when you're comparing him to other Planeswalkers, I think that might make him A tier quality. At least. Maybe that might be S tier quality. Maybe. I'm going to temporarily put him at S. He might get downgraded to A, but I don't think he can go less than A. So yeah, I think Gideon is up there. Oh, for those of you that are just joining, this is not playability of Planeswalkers. This is how dateable are the Planeswalkers. This is just made up ridiculousness that we're having fun with. This has nothing to do with anything else. This is us just being nerds right now. You can't have Dak higher, Nathan. He's a thief. He literally is the greatest thief of the multiverse. Like, you can't trust him. Like, we can't put him any higher than D tier. I appreciate people going to bat for Dak Faden, but you're going to have to make a strong argument other than he should just be higher. Is Watley A tier? Craziest thing is, she can control dinosaurs, so if you think dinosaurs are sweet, maybe. I don't think I have anything bad on Watley. I think that's an A tier. I don't know enough about her to push her to S tier, but what I do know, I don't think I can put her below A tier. Like, she seems like good, protective, good for her community. Like, I can't really fault that. Exactly. You could be a little too good sometimes. I agree. That could be annoying to people. That's why I'm putting them in some temporary slots, and then we may review them at the end, because, like, some of them, realistically, you're being compared to other Planeswalkers. You know, I think that's part of it. No, see, if Dak stole your heart, it'd be because he's trying to sell it to somebody else who needs a heart transplant. See, that's the concern with Dak, right? He's not just stealing your heart. He's probably stealing your heart because there's another person who's going to pay way more for that heart. Like, so, I can't go in on it like that. I just can't. All right. Who do we have here? Who's this dragon? Oh, is that... I don't know who this dragon's supposed to be. Anybody know who this is supposed to be? I am confused. Is this like an interpretation of the Grandmaster of Flowers or something? I may not rank this one. I don't know who it is. For real. I'm trying to figure out who it is. I don't know. I know the next one obviously is Jace, but like I have no idea who. I don't even know what artwork this goes to. What card? So yeah, I'm gonna skip on this one. I literally don't know who that's supposed to be or what it is. All right. Let's go with Jace. Here's the problem I have with Jace. Now, I know some chicks are probably gonna, or just people, may not be chicks, might be dudes too, are just into like shirtless Jace. So, you know, he's got his bod and whatever. But Jace has like a weird history, right? And he likes to play with his own mind to make himself forget stuff or whatever. So you might have that situation like, hey, were you sleeping around with so-and-so? And he might just, bloop, I don't remember. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, Jace could be pretty manipulative. So, like, I don't even know. I don't know. Like, oh, you're talking about the dragon? The dragon I don't think is necessarily Ugin because these have been put in at least close to alphabetically. And that would put Ugin way toward the bottom. So, like, maybe? No, there is something already representing Ugin, so it's not Ugin. But yeah, so Jace, I'm probably going to say... I mean, here's the problem with Jace, though. Like, he's a little... He feels like the type of person you would say is... Like, on a D&D sheet, he has high intelligence, but no wisdom. You know what I mean? That's sort of how I feel like with Jace. Like, he knows a lot, he knows how to do a lot of things, but like when it comes to applying it or how to get through situations, he doesn't often choose the best choice. So I'm just like, oh, you're right. Jace could gaslight you with that mind stuff. For real. You know what I'm saying? So like, I got problems. I like, part of me is like, he's usually well-intentioned, but he's also created a lot of situations too. Man, people are going to hate me for doing this, But I think just my potential to be gaslit too much by Jace has to have him in D tier. I just think like there's too much manipulation going on, both with himself and with me. Eventually, I don't know what's up from down. There's going to be a lot of problems in that relationship. So I'm going to give him a D tier. And I know people are going to hate that. I know when I post this, people are going to absolutely hate it. And I'm going to get vilified. But I can't give him higher than that. You're right. I mean, he no street smarts, right? That's just what it is. I think that's the best I could do for Jace. Jaya Ballard. Jaya feels like one of the more reasonable red mages. Oh yeah, Jace is definitely a bit self-centered. I think that's true. No arguing that. And Jaya kind of, at this stage, we kind of got to see Jaya as like a older matriarch type figure. So that's got to count for something, right? Like very caring, though happens to be a red mage. I might go B tier on Jaya. Like you could very well, like Jaya. So far, Jaya might be the only one that knows like a good chocolate cookie recipe or whatever for the holidays. So that also has got to count for a little bit. Like I'm gonna go up a little bit more. I mean, like you gotta be into some older women, but like she might know how to throw down compared to a lot of these olders. Yeah, she's definitely way more controlled than Chandra. That's for sure true. Yeah, no doubt. I think B tier is solid there. What do we have on next up? Is that Yang Jianggu? Is that who that is? The Planeswalker from the Chinese set? I think I actually don't know very much about. This feels like a Planeswalker that doesn't have life experience yet, though. I think is the problem. Because if I remember right, Zhang was very young. I don't really know. I think this is another one. We don't have enough. So I think I'm just going to put it a C tier here. Right? We don't have enough to work with. Like, I mean, now if you're a dog person, his dog is uber sweet as hell. So you're probably going to, like, if you're swiping through the app and then this dog's in a couple of pictures, he's probably going to win you over. Because people are suckers for dogs. Like, if you got a cute puppy, that'll get a lot of people. Like, I would even say that's the number one technique. If you're going to be on a dating app, if you got a dog or a cute cat, like, you might as well get it in the picture. So, you know what? I was going to say C tier, but if you're an animal person, you might go up. But I think he's too young. I think this might be a jailbait situation. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But he might be too young. Oh, see, even Crazy's got it. Yeah, a little not of age. So can't put you like not if my life depended on it because you're not creepy scary. You're not that creepy doll girl, whatever. But like, probably gonna have to wait a while. Oh, Karn. Karn Daddy is a protector. And if you're in a little bit into some kinky stuff, like people do like the Karn Daddy stuff. So, I mean, there's a market for that. But yeah, like Karn, is Karn A tier? For real? I mean, the dude, loyal to a T, has protected all kinds of people. He's resourceful. He's survived a long time. Like, he's knowledgeable. I'm like, he might. I think Karn is S tier. I think he is. I don't think, like, seriously, what are we all gonna say? Is there negative stuff to say about Karn? I don't think there isn't anything, right? Like, and like I said, there's a bonus if you're into the Karn Daddy thing. Like, just it's a thing. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's out there. It's in the world. I said it. It's true. I'm not making that up. That's a thing. All right. Is that Kasmina? I think is the next one. I got nothing on Kasmina. I actually don't know enough. I think Kasmina just ends up middle of the road for me. Yeah, exactly. See, he seems like the kind of perfect significant other situation with Karn, right? Like he's kind of got to be. So he's got to be S tier. Kasmina, unless somebody's got some intel, I think I'm just putting her middle of the road, sadly. I would like to put her higher, but I don't really know much about her. I think she's going to kind of fall in the middle because I don't know enough to put her one way or the other. Unfortunately, I know that makes it a boring part of the game because you're like, I'm a big fan and you should rank her somewhere. But like, I don't have anything to go on. So she ends up middle of the road. Ooh, Kaya. All right. This will be a good one on Kaya. All right. So here's the thing. Like, Kaya hangs out with the Orzhov, which is already a little bit of a problem, right? Because all of her friends are going to be pretty much manipulative jerks. So no matter what you do, she's going to have some friend talking about, I could just kill him. Because, they'd be into that. Like the Orzhov, they try to kill you and keep you in servitude forever. So that could be a problem. But you're right, Fear. Like, we don't know a whole lot about her because they've kept a lot of things secret. She is an assassin, so you would have to watch her back. I mean, because if you ever pissed her off, like, not only would she kill you, she would know how to kill you and get away with it. And that's a little bit of a concern, right? Like, we got to watch her back all the time. And if she wanted to follow you around, she could, because she can go incorporeal. So like that'd be a little bit much. So I don't know. I mean, don't be wrong. All the depiction of her, she's kind of hot. Like, but I don't know. Oh, she's not S tier. Like you can't be S tier with that. Like she's got problematic friends. She's got a secret society. I don't even know who all her friends are or where she even works at. Cause like, it's all secret, right? You know what I mean? Like that's, I don't know. Like, I mean, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. If you're willing to take a chance, then she might be A or S tier for you. If you're willing to gamble on like crazy history, secretive background, like you don't know nothing about her, she doesn't open up about things, she moves in silence. Like, yeah, see, I'm the same way. I'm like, I can't do higher than B tier, y'all. I can't. I know some of y'all want to, but I can't. Like, see, Brad's got it too. Too many Dexter vibes. I got it. Like, you might be doing it for good reasons, but I don't know when today's going to be my day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know when that day is coming. So I'm going to go B tier. Mostly trustworthy. Seems to be on the side of the good guys, but I'm gambling a little bit. You know what I mean? like that's the thing. Like, I am taking a gamble. It's like, how much are you willing to gamble? She might get downgraded to C tier. I don't know. See, some of y'all are willing to. Like, I don't know if I'm not like, dude, I take risk out of my life a lot of the time. So this probably ain't gonna work for me. Exactly. See, minding my own business. Exactly. That's what I feel like. All right. So, Kiora is next up. Kiora's kind of a weird one, right? Because you got that whole, like, controller of the sea sort of thing, which is sort of cool. See, that's the thing. I don't know how much better or worse Kaya is over Chandra. I think that's a debatable coin flip, honestly, depending on which way you view their personalities. But yeah, Kiora, the thing about Kiora is, like, you have to enjoy the water. That's the first thing. If you don't enjoy water, then you're not going to enjoy Kiora, right? Like, you got to be willing to go get out in the ocean, maybe go swim with the dolphins. Like, if you like doing that stuff, though, like, if you live along the coast and maybe you get out in the water time, you're from California or something, like, Kiora might be ideal. And let's be honest, like, you both get private time, right? Because she's not going to want to come hang out with you in the house. You're not going to want to go underwater, obviously, because you just die because you can't breathe. So it might be like, hey, cool, we hang out during the day, we do some jet skiing, some scuba diving, whatever, it's all good. And then, like, I get to go hang out at home. But we have this other real problem that she might not be down with you eating sushi. So if you're a sushi person, this could be a real problem. You know what I mean? Like, I enjoy sushi. So that might be a deal breaker on this relationship. Because I can't imagine she's going to be cool with that. Right? All her friends happen to be like octopuses and everything. Like, that's not going to go over well. So now, if you happen to be vegan or vegetarian or whatever, then, you might be able to make things work out with Kiora. I'm unfortunately not. So I think that's going to be a big deal breaker for me. Plus, I enjoy water, but not all the time, right? Like I like going out every once in a while. Granted, if you live up here up in the northwest, water's too damn cold for me to get out into. So that'd be a deal breaker too. So yeah, I think she's D tier, sadly. Fish? Exactly. No fish. Exactly. So can't do it. So yeah, I think that's a deal breaker for me. And I do like seafood. I ain't gonna lie. I like seafood. So that's a deal breaker. Next up. Oh, Koth, actually. Yeah. We don't even know what's up with Koth right now, do we? Koth sort of just disappeared at some point, and we sort of just acted like he hadn't been around. So I don't know what to make of Koth, actually. I don't have enough intel on Koth. I don't know what merfolk eat Solvix. I mean, I don't know, maybe they eat seaweed. Or they eat, like, I don't know, non-intelligent fish like clams and stuff. I have no idea. Oh, that's true. We are building a nice curve to this list. You're right. I didn't even realize that. It's kind of filling itself in perfectly. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Koth's going to be another one that falls in the middle for me. I don't know if we really have enough to go on. If I remember right, he was fighting on the side of the good guys on Phyrexia, but that's all we know, right? We don't really know what happened to him after that. So we have a very small window where we learned anything about Koth. So I'm going to put him down in the middle. He's just going to be one of those mystery people on an app. He shared some pictures of some cool places he's been, but that's about it. Didn't tell anything about himself. You don't know how tall he is. Don't know how much he weighs. Like, he's just trying to get by for now. He's testing out the app. He's looking. He's not heavily searching, I guess. So that's all he gets. All right. This is the one that I'm sure everybody's going to have an opinion on. Liliana. This is the one where if I'm going to get blown up, it's probably right here. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Liliana, what do we do? Liliana. Like, here's the thing. Liliana sort of has the thing that Garrick has going on. Where, like, if you met Liliana before she settled down, she's just this, like, hot, crazy chick, right? Always trying to get by on people to manipulate folks and do all this thing. And, like, though she'll help her friends out, she's always kind of in it for herself a little bit, But, like, new Liliana, she's kind of carrying around some baggage. She feels bad about some things, right? Some things didn't go the right way. Like, she feels bad old Gideon took the hit for her, right? There's some stuff there. Like, but she's still down with zombies. There's problems. Exactly. Like, physically, she's hot. No lie. Like, probably at least A tier. Problem is, she comes with all that other baggage, and I don't know if I could do that. And I don't know, like, here's the thing I have to, like, really ask myself. Here's my problem, right? Would she be into me enough that she'd be willing to kill me and then zombify me to have her perfect mate? And would she be cool with that? Because that's a scary situation, that knowing that at any point, she might just be like, you know what? I'm tired of you. And then, like, next day, she just got you on puppet strings or whatever, right? Like, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. Like, I know I'm overanalyzing this, but it's kind of the goal here. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's too much manipulation. Like, I can't really get on board with this whole thing. So I get it. If you're just looking at looks and maybe you're asking, like, I don't know, 20-year-old me, I might be like, yeah, dog, S tier, it's worth the risk. But, like, older me, I get, oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong, we're talking about Planeswalkers. There's going to be some baggage. I get with all these Planeswalkers. I get that. But I'm thinking about, like, the whole zombie aspect. I ain't cool with that. Like, that's not going to work for me. Yeah, I can't do more than like, oh, am I gonna, oh man, people are gonna hate me. I think I'm gonna put Liliana in D tier. I might say like if we were ignoring, like if we were just looking at looks, probably much higher. But like the reality that I could be zombified to just codify an emotional outburst or something one day, I can't really do it for me. I can't. I can't. And this is gonna. Oh, I know this is gonna get me blown up. I know people are gonna hate this, but like, it's a personal list. This is what I got. Don't skin me alive. Like Liliana might, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know. Like I said, the fact that she could zombify you and then control you, I can't. That's a little too far. A little too far. I can't do it. I want to, but I can't. All right. Who's next up? Oh, this is the other. This is Mu Yanling, right? Okay. This is another one I don't feel like we have enough intel on, right? We've only even seen Mu Yanling in what, 2 sets? Because they were in like the special dual deck set and then the M20 set. But I don't think we got extra story on her, did we? She put the zombies away. She's on the discard path since Strix. Maybe. That's what I'm saying. But I don't know. I don't know how long that's going to last. So, like, that's the best I could do with Liliana right now. I know some people are going to hate it. I apologize. I know some people are going to hate it. But that's true. Kaya is less risky. See, that's a very good point. Like, Kaya, I feel like, at least, like, when I'm dead, I'm dead. There's no manipulation going on. Like, she knows if she kills me, I'm out, right? I'm out of her life, whatever. Like, I feel like Liliana might for real just be like, you know what? I'm tired of you. I'm tired of your mouth, whatever. And then she still likes you, so she's going to find a way to keep you around after you're dead. Right? See, that's the problem. Like, that's a whole other level of concern that you don't have with some of these other planeswalkers. So, like, that's why I'm putting her in D tier. Like, that doesn't work for me. I think with Mu Yanling, I'm gonna have to put her in C tier because again, I think there's another one. I just not enough story, not enough awareness. Don't really know enough about her. Oh, this is. Oh, we've talked about hotheads, Nahiri. Ooh, Nahiri might be F tier, y'all. Like, Nahiri might for real be F tier. Like, ooh, I mean, she was on so much of a revenge path. She brought giant overworld beings and whatever to another place and put a dude in a concrete slab. Like I don't know. She might for real be F tier. Like, yeah, I don't. Man, like, I think that alone might have to, like, can't do it. I think that's for real. Just a can't do it for me. Like, we've already seen how far her anger will go. Like, and I don't know what you have to do to push that button, but we've already seen like how bad it could be. I can't. I think that's one that's just too little. Just, I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly it. You might get stabbed in your sleep. I don't even think she might do that thing like that. Who was that lady that like sewed her husband up in a sheet and then beat him with a baseball bat or whatever? You might get that level of treatment from Nahiri. She's not just gonna like beat you. She's not just gonna leave you. She's not. I don't even think she'd just stab you. I think she'd have to like. She would do top level revenge stuff on you. I think she's that level. Never heard a story with her that did not involve death and destruction. Exactly. I think she's got to be down on the bottom. She's the one you bring home to piss off the parents. Probably true as well. I could agree with that. Oh, man. All right. Okay, next up here, we've got Narset. I don't know. Do we have anything bad on Narset? She's one I hadn't thought about, actually. Other than, not liking her cards because they're unfortunately oppressive, but like Narset herself actually seems all right. I mean, I don't know. Do I have that wrong? Is Narset can Narset be an S tier? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of reasons to knock Narset, but I got nothing. That feels strange. Like, do we just say she's just S tier? I mean, feels a little weird, but like, is there something I don't know that I should put her down below her? Because like, she seems all good. I'm literally trying to think. I'm like, do I have anything negative on Narset? Narset might be all right. Like, for real. I mean, is she though? Is she oppressive and controlling? I mean, if she is, then she can't be S tier, obviously. Like, okay, everybody's on the A or high B situation. All right, that's fine. That's true. She does have some, like, depending on which one, she kind of has the hot librarian vibes going on. I get you. But yeah, all right, we'll put her in S tier. Everybody, or A tier. Everybody agrees with that. Everybody says she's at least in A. Nobody's really like pushing for lower, really. That's true. I'm not saying she stands out, but sometimes when you're comparing to the rest of the group, you kind of look around and go like, well, you know, is she comparatively an A or S tier compared to the other, whatever, like 50 people we have in this pile? Like, probably. That's okay. She doesn't have to make much money being a librarian. She might enjoy her job a lot. Like, there's benefits to that. I'm good with that. Exactly. Being focused is also a good thing, though. Narset's part of Tamio's book club. That much I believe, for sure. Oh, Nicol Bolas. Dude, not if my life depended on it. Like, I don't even have to think about that one. Like, Bolas is down at the bottom. Like, every level. Dude is controlling, egotistical, definitely just like manipulative on every level. Right? Like, pretty much no redeeming qualities, basically. Like, other than being smart. I guess intelligence is a redeeming quality. But that's about all he's got. I mean, I just can't. I just can't. That's where you're at. Like, that in no world would you be like, hey, I know this cool dude you should date. Like, not with that guy. So yeah, definitely at the bottom. Oh, okay, so Nissa, here's one that I think is gonna have some people split. Because on the surface, I think it's very easy to look at Nissa and be like, man, she's really loyal. She even said like, hey, I can't run around gallivanting with y'all. I got to go protect my home, whatever. And that's all good. So like, there's all these good vibes, right? But I still remember the stretch where Nissa was basically like an elf Nazi. And like, that was a little bit much. And I think we kind of like swept that under the rug. So I don't think we could put Nissa in S tier. I think she's overcome some things. But I don't think we can put her in S tier. But I'm willing to go A or B tier with Nissa. I feel like she's gone through an exploration. I think she's learned a lot. She's obviously loyal to her people and protects Zendikar. So I'm down with it. But like, maybe B tier. Like I said, because of that other stretch, if you're not an elf, she does have a lot of problems with you. I'm with you. And I think that's kind of the thing, right? Like, we absolutely can't be S tier. I think we agree on that. Like, just because she's like, you're not an elf, you don't get preferential treatment, right? Like, so that's true. She's still down with Chandra. That's cool. I got no problem with that. But like, I think she's in B tier. And I'm gonna say this because the problem is, if Chandra is still into her, you might end up with the jealous Chandra on your hands. And that could be a real problem. So like I'm gonna put it right there and be like, B is probably good. Pretty high quality, but there's some things that are real concerns for us here. So I think B is a real good place for her. Man, I'm just realizing the Wizards might have actually got the colors right on this, because I'm realizing, like, look, we have like white Planeswalkers and stuff all at the top. We've got like oh, that's not true. We do have Davriel up here, but I was like, we're starting to put some of these black Planeswalkers and stuff all at the bottom. Like, the colors are working themselves out appropriately. Ob Nixilis. This is another one I think has to be pretty low. I think this is another one. I think we can't go high on this one either. I think it's just a case of like, dude, the same thing. Like he seems, going for power. Now you might have that whole like demon fantasy thing or whatever, and he might check that box for you. But I can't. I think now. Here's the thing. I don't know if I picture of Nixilis going ham on you like Nahiri would. Right? So we're in this situation where I'm trying to start like measuring compared to other people we've already ranked. Like, where do we put them? Like, I think he might still be F tier. That's true. See, that's a good point there, Plaxi. He actually doesn't keep his promises. That's already going to be a big problem, right? On top of demon issues. So I think that you're right. I think that's going to put you down to F tier. Because if you can't trust anything he says, that's going to be a real big problem, right? That puts you like a hair toward being not if your life depended on it. But I'm not going to say that because there's a world where like if you just had to and you needed him to watch out for you, like he might actually protect you or whatever, at least while it benefited him. Whereas like I would at least assume still with like Bolus, I'm probably dead no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm willing to put him in the F tier pile and just say, yep, is what it is. All right, so Ralzeric. Here's an interesting one. We've learned a little bit about Ralzeric over the years. We've been to Ravnica 3 times now. Smart, a guild leader. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Ral. I don't feel like I have a lot of negative about him. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. What do y'all feel? I'll let chat make the decision on this one. I'm literally torn on. I don't want to give where I think he is yet. I want to let chat give me the feedback here on Ralzeric. Because I got nothing particular on Ral one way or the other. That's true. We might find out more about Obnixilis when we get to Streets of New Capenna. That's true. He does like to tinker, but that's not bad. He might have a cool. You might make him like his own workshop, and he might build you some cool things out there. He might save you money. You don't have to go to Pier 1 or any of these fancy like furniture places or whatever to get like weird clocks and things, right? Like if you're into industrial stuff, like he might just build it for you, right? That's a benefit. And if you got Ralzeric around, you'll probably never have electronics in your house that don't work. You know what I mean? Like that could be a thing. He might fix all that. That's true. He is a bit of a workaholic. I can't argue that. That's a good point. But I mean, he's got to be A tier, right? Like because if our worst knocks are he spends a lot of time tinkering and he's a bit of a workaholic, but we got nothing else. Like that's still a pretty reasonable partner. You know what I mean? Like you could be way worse off. Like that's true, and he's super nerdy if you're into that. So like, yeah, I'm gonna say A tier. I think I think y'all came to the right thing there. Hey, it's all right if he's in a relationship with Tomek. They might be doing the whole like multiple partner thing or whatever. I don't know, but like, seems like a good dude. I got no problem with that. Who's next up here? Who is that? I don't know who that Planeswalker is. That's another one I don't identify. Who is that? Because I know the one next to it is Rowan, obviously. And then Saheeli. I don't know who that is. I don't even recognize that artwork. So yeah, I'm going to skip another one. This is the second one we have to skip that I can't identify because I have no idea who that is. Doesn't look familiar at all. All right. I'm sure somebody will tell me later, but Rowan. Okay, first thing, I don't even know how old the twins are supposed to be right now. Because aren't they like the heirs to the kingdom or something or whatever? And I will say this, though, about Rowan and Will both. You do have the concern that you have scary father figure lording over you and Garrick. Right? Because ain't his thing now that he's watching out for those two? So that could be a bit intimidating. For real. Like, that's a thing. Like, you might be getting interrogated all the time, by Garrick. Like you asked to like, hey, we're gonna go on a trip. You might have to fill out like a full-on legal affidavit and like a 52-page document detailing your itinerary, whatever. So like I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I think though for the most part, they seem like they are probably Rowan and Will both. I might put these together in a thing, but I feel like they might be B tier, assuming they're of age. I don't even know if they are. Like I assume they are because we've seen them out on their own in the Battle Bond set. And then we saw them well, they're in college in Strixhaven, right? Yeah. All right. That's fine. Oh, that's a good point, Crazy. If you do marry one of these two, you could be in line to be king or queen. That is actually a real selling point. Not gonna lie. Like you do get to be married into royalty. Right? Something I hadn't considered. That is a real fact. That changes things. I mean, again, they're a bit young, so, you know, it'll depend on your age, how you feel about them or whatever. That's a real thing. That is true. You got to be able to deal with royalty, though. That is true. You do have to deal with all the pomp and circumstance that comes with that. But they seem like good folks, though, from what little bit I know about them. So I'm going to put Will and Rowan in B tier. Partly because of age, right? They're still a bit young. They've got a lot of developing to do. They're still going through their whole college years thing. Like there's still a long way to go. A long way to go on those. So kind of like they're good people now. They haven't had enough time to screw up, but they still got a long way to go to like climb up the ladder, I think. So I think that is a fair assessment for them. Saheeli. Saheeli might be S tier. For real. Cause here's the thing. Like, Saheeli, super smart, right? Really supports her people. Super creative person. She's attractive. There's nothing. I got no knocks on Saheeli. Somebody's gonna have to sell me on not putting Saheeli in S tier. I don't think I have anything that says Saheeli can't be S tier. I sort of feel like Saheeli, like I did with Karn, where just like I don't have anything to knock anybody on. Easy as she's actually human. That's a good point. But like, yeah, exactly. Optimistic, smart, like yeah, all these traits that you like, right? Like, it's almost sad that it is sad that we didn't feature Saheeli more. Like, we actually made a Planeswalker that has all these positive traits, and she really didn't even get featured in the story on her own plane. So like, yeah, S tier for sure, all the way there. Who else do we got here? This is the what's her name from Amonkhet, right? Okay. Samit, that's who it is. That's true. It's okay. You can have a little bit of a rebel streak. I want somebody who's willing to fight for a cause. Like, that's a good thing. All right, so Samit, if I remember right, like Samit was loyal, but then Samit was one of the ones. Did Samit like not agree with all the stuff going? Because like she didn't trust the plan of everything going on with Bolas or whatever. Oh, you can be a crazy cat lady. I'm all right. I could live with that to a point. We could work on that. Yeah, Samit is an interesting one because I feel like we didn't learn quite a lot about Samit either. We kind of got just a little bit while we were on Amonkhet, and then Samit showed up again briefly during the War of the Spark, and I think that was it. I don't know. How does everybody feel about Samit? Because like I feel like the type of person that would protect their people very well, like proven that she's not stupid, not willing to just go along with it just because of like everybody saying like, no, this is like the god we have to do stuff for, and like she still like questioned it and went like, but this still all feels weird, right? So like that's somebody that's not gullible, so that's a good thing, right? Seems to be like a worthy competitor, fighter, whatever. So like that's got to be good. So like I mean, again, I don't think we have quite enough intel to go above and beyond, but I'm willing to say Samit might be an A tier partner. Yeah, exactly. Athletic, like all that. Better than Chandra tier? Oh, no doubt. Definitely better than that. So like I'm with it. Like if somebody wanted to argue that Samit's a B tier, I would kind of be okay with that too. I don't think I would fight that too much. But like, yeah, I think Samit's an A or a B. That's true. She will perform some wild plans to keep you safe. That's true. See, all right, everybody's on the same page. I think A B is fair for Samit. All right. Sarkhan is next. Oh my gosh. Man, Sarkhan's a weird one too, right? Because he's kind of like there's like past history Sarkhan and current history Sarkhan, I guess, because we had that whole weird thing with the time jump and the dragons in Tarkir, whatever. But we've also seen a lot of versions of Sarkhan, and he seems pretty obsessed. So I don't really know. Actually, has Sarkhan been every color? No, we've not had a white Sarkhan, actually. We've had him in every other color. Yeah, Sarkhan's one, he feels like there's a lot of rage going on with Sarkhan. It's sort of the vibe I get. Yeah, I agree. Like, he's into the dragons more than he should be. You know, maybe that's a problem. Yeah, post Tarkir block is definitely better than Tarkir block Sarkhan. I agree with that. I think, man, I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if you're into the whole like tall chisel bod or whatever, like he'll definitely do that for you. Long hair and all that, like the heavy metal rock god sort of thing. He's got that vibe going for real. So if you're into that, he might be your dude. But yeah, I'm the same way. I'm with you, Brad. Like, I'm kind of thinking about this. Like, he could be the type that like just goes off for some reason. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're one anger situation away from him. Yeah, exactly. See, I think C tier's the ceiling for Sarkhan. I'm not sold. Sarkhan's a tough one for me because I feel like I'm at like D.5 tier, like almost C tier. I'm gonna go C tier. I'm gonna go C, but like I'm not sold on that C. Like if we were sitting around a table and we were debating this for like 20 minutes or whatever, I could be talked on dropping him lower without probably a strong effort. But I'm going to leave him at C tier for now. Oh, Sarah, the Benevolent. Well, this is a weird one because like, isn't Sarah like a deity effectively at this point? Like, or am I misunderstanding that? Yeah, I think we just wouldn't with Sarah, which is weird. And like, you have the whole issue with like the whole religious thing and like all the angels and like, that seems like a lot to be like wanting to date or marry into. Like, at some point, she's got everybody who like worships her, and there's churches and temples dedicated to her. I there's just so much here that like I feel like if you were dating Sarah, there's a lot to take in there. There's a lot to absorb. Like you might have to switch religions. Like there's all kinds of things happening here that I can't. I think this would be an F tier for me. I think would be the deal. When Malevolent is your name is probably not good. That's also true. That is a good point as well. I can't really argue that. Okay, yeah, so I think that's fine. I'm fine putting Sarah at F tier. Not that she might have done some good things or whatever, but it's just like the package of things that comes with that, right? Like if you marry into that, like that's a lot. That's a lot. I don't think I'd be up for that. That's too much to deal with. Here's another Planeswalker I don't recognize. I don't even think that's a Planeswalker. Maybe it is a Planeswalker. I don't know who it is. I don't know who that artwork is. I just grabbed these off the internet, so I have no idea who it is. I'm gonna skip it, but we are gonna go to Sauron. Um, how devoted do I want my partner to be? She's essentially lets herself die after her husband got killed. That's also true. All right, so Sauron is kind of all over the place. I think Sauron's going to come down to how much you're into vampires. I feel like everybody's going to have a different opinion, and no matter what it is, you're going to be skewed one way or the other based on how much you believe in vampires. I think that's going to be the issue. Like, I really do. Like, cause here's the thing. You've got like early Sauron that everybody's into. Then you've got kind of like the battle Sauron. We got some versions of that. But then we got the creepy Sauron from the latest set, where he looks like he's just like sleazy dude hanging outside of a high school waiting to get a date. And that's creepy. Like, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like he's got attitude problems and everything. Like, agreed that he pulled that thing, that whole storyline, going back and forth in the Hiri. He did some effed up stuff too. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go not if my life depended on it. But I'm gonna be real with him being a vampire. I always have to question, like, is today the day? You know what I mean? Because I'm that person. For real, no lie. I told my significant other, I said, look, if at any point you become a vampire, don't bring your ass home. And she's like, why not? I'm like, because I'm gonna stake you. And she's like, what if I promised I wouldn't kill you? Like, I wouldn't be able to trust that. So, like, I'm just telling you straight up. You become a vampire, don't come to my house. You will not be invited in. I will have a stake in hand, and I'm probably wearing a whole ring of garlic or whatever. So, like, just letting you know, I'm probably not down. I think he's an F for me. I know people are going to disagree with that wholeheartedly, but like, I think just by nature of being a vampire, you have a ceiling on what I could do. Unless you'd have to really prove yourself to be a super good person for me to like move that bar any higher. Tamiyo. All right. What do we do with Tamiyo? Tamiyo's obviously smart, super inquisitive. That's a huge benefit. That's all right. I don't have to worry about a relationship lasting thousands of years. I don't want to live thousands of years. Like, that's too long. But yeah, Tamiyo seems pretty good. Though I still find it weird that Tamiyo showed up in Innistrad, but then didn't really do anything when all that stuff was going on. So that part's a little bit weird, other than like chronicling it. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But I think Tamiyo's probably like a B tier. Well, that's fine. Like, again, we're going to play under the auspice that maybe there's a polyamorous situation or something here. Like, some of them obviously are in relationships already. We kind of have to like treat that for what it is for sake of the exercise. Oh, that's true. She's already proven herself to be a quality family person too, though. That is a good point. That might move her to S tier. I think you're right. I think that alone says, hey, held up a family, been loyal, smart. There's something to that. So S tier for Tamiyo. I think if something happens with her current mate, she would be quality partner to have. I think that's totally okay. Teferi. I think Teferi might actually be A or S tier. Crazy as it is. But like, I mean, he's protected an entire world, effectively. Like, we've seen recently that he's a family man, like raising his daughter. Like, I'm not like, like, now don't get me wrong. I don't like Teferi's cards. I hate playing against them or whatever. I hate what they do. But Teferi seems pretty good. So I'm like, I'm I'm good with that. Like, unless somebody wants to argue against Teferi being lower than S tier, like I think, especially when we're comparing him to other planeswalkers, I think he's going to get S tier status. Yeah, exactly. Everybody's saying Return Dominaria. Yeah, definitely S tier. Yeah, I think he's S tier status. And I feel like he got the normal growth curve, right? Like, you were a kid that was just like a prankster or whatever. You kind of rebelled a little bit. You went through a thing where you had to find yourself. You protected your people. Now you got a family. You know, doing that whole thing, right? So I'm in. All right. Teo. I don't think I know anything about Teo. Like, I'm just realizing this. I'm like, I know the art, but I don't think we know anything about him. So yeah, I think Teo's just gonna get a C. I think Teo takes good pictures for the app, but he's too lazy to fill in anything on his bio. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm fine with Teferi being S tier. I'm okay with that. I agree there are points where he has done some things that in the past I'd probably be like, maybe he's a B tier or whatever. But I think where we've seen where he's grown to, I'm kind of like, I think I have to put him in S tier. Who do we have left here? Oh, that's Tezzeret. I don't know if we get handicap parking for having a mechanical arm. I think he has to be a D or an F. Like, the problem is, like, we've seen Teferi, like, work with the bad guys to try to, like, better himself or whatever. Like, I mean, you could view that as maybe trying to, like, he'll do whatever it takes sort of a thing, but he's always been on one foot in on the bad guy situation. So, like, I don't, I can't get behind that. You know, yeah, exactly. I think that's a good assessment. If you're into the whole bad boy vibe, maybe that's a thing. But long term, that's probably not going to be healthy. You know, now granted, I don't think he's as bad as like an Ob Nixilis or a Nahiri or a Sauron possibly. But I think he's equally as bad as probably like a Dak Faden, where like you'll probably have some good times and the dude's going to be loyal, but like at some point he might turn on you and you're going to just be like, I should have seen it coming. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like the Liliana thing, right? Like, you know what you're getting into. You're kind of like, if I'm willing to gamble, I guess this is okay. And it'll just be a good ride for a short time, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this is probably the best you can do with them, sadly. Who does that give us? Oh, the Wanderer. The Wanderer, we know we're gonna find more out about, actually, I guess, in Kamigawa. So this is just C tier. Another one we don't have. We have literally no information on the Wanderer. I think we've seen a card, and that's about it. All right. Yeah, that's true. I would say that too. He does have some anger issues, old Tezzeret. Oh, Tibalt. I mean, again, if you got that demon fantasy thing going, all right, maybe Tibalt's your dude. But ultimately, I think Tibalt's F tier. I don't know if there's ever going to be a time where you can trust him. And I think that alone's gotta account for something. So, like, and the thing we know about Tibalt, straight up, is that he's always being a trickster. That's kind of his whole gimmick, right? And you can't build a relationship around that. Like, that's just not healthy. So, again, I don't think it's like a not on my life dependent on it situation, but it's probably a not gonna happen ever situation. Now Ugin, I think, creates an interesting discussion for people. I think I'm gonna let chat decide on Ugin, because I think I know what I would want to do with Ugin. But I'm gonna leave this to chat to give their input, because I don't want to flex it one way or the other here. But it's interesting. But I will let y'all decide, because Ugin's a pretty interesting case, especially with like what we've learned of Ugin, a couple of years ago. Because I think for a while we didn't really know much about Ugin, and then like War of the Spark and all that happened, and there was people kind of got more into it a little bit. But I don't know what everybody's opinion is, right? Because again, I'm gonna give it a couple seconds, let y'all figure it out. In the comics, he's a psychopath torturing Chandra. Oh, you're talking about Tibalt? Yeah. Tibalt's just crazy. Like, I can't do anything with Tibalt. Like, I think putting Tibalt down in F tier is like the correct move. he's messed up. He's not quite as bad as like a Bolus, but he's real bad. Like if there was like an F minus tier, he would probably go there. All right, so nobody has an opinion on Ugin. This is interesting. I figured Ugin would have got people riled up. Ugin is tough, right? Because you have this like all powerful dragon being person thing, right? You've got to figure that whole situation out and how that would work. Exactly, too complicated. That's exactly sort of how I feel about it. But he was the one that came through basically for the multiverse, right? Like he was willing to sacrifice himself effectively, because aren't him and Bolus both in like this weird like blank world prison or whatever to make sure that Bolus stays there? So like Ugin stays very close to not on my life. He's a more altruistic Bolus, but he still toss you into some interplay. See, that's the thing. He might. That's what I'm saying. Would he do stuff? Let's assume they weren't trapped. Like, would he be willing to do anything that's manipulative just to get over on Bolus? That's what I'm questioning, right? Because I don't know. And I think that makes you like a D tier. Because like part of me wants to go like, you've done some bad things, but you did literally save the multiverse. But like, so that makes me want to say C. But one really good positive feat doesn't necessarily define you as a person. You know what I mean? Like if I do something awesome today, that doesn't make up for me just being awful in a bunch of other ways. Well, yeah, that's exactly it. I don't know if that, and see, and I think you're right there, Fear. I think that's what this comes down to, is like, I don't know how much he would value you and emotions as a partner. And I think that's the end result of all of it, right? Like, how much are you going to be valued in any of those equations? It's going to be about him and everything around him, but not necessarily you. We're going to find out more about Urza, but we know he was crazy and stuff. I might put Urza in not if my life depended on it, honestly. But I feel like if I do that, I've got to drop like Tybalt and other stuff down there too. I think I'm just going to leave Urza in F tier, but like, yeah, he's not happening. He's not happening. That whole situation with Urza Mystra is so crazy. I'm kind of cool that we're going back and telling that story now, which is kind of neat. Vincer. This is an interesting one. Well, that's also true. Like, Ugin does feel responsible for Bolus to some extent. Vincer. This is another one. I'm kind of indifferent. Part of me says put Vincer down at like a D. I don't have a lot to base that on. It's just like the way I feel. Oh, that's true. Urza does have war crimes. That is a real good point. Like, that is very valid. Like, I can't argue that. And I'm sure we're going to find out even more as we get through 2022 about that story. So yeah, we do have, I think he is worse than the others. I think we're moving him down for sure. All right. So Vincer, I kind of was thinking about Vincer too. When we get down to this one, I don't know what to do with Vincer. Like I literally don't know enough about this character, even though he's gotten a few cards. He's shown up a couple times in different sets, but like, I don't have anything to hang my hat on with this character. So, I don't know what to do here. I mean, does Vincer just get C tier because I just don't know anything? Maybe this is it, which kind of sucks. But I mean, I hate just tossing people in C tier and going like, I don't know enough about you. I can't put you higher or lower. But I feel like that's the correct thing. So for now, I think I'm just going to put him there. Vivian is a weird one. I feel like Vivian is mostly positive. I feel like it could be another one where she's way more into the animals and the environment than you. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Brad. I got like Vincer, yeah, the whole show off thing or whatever, but like that's all I really know. I don't know if that's enough to really put him in any particular category. Sacrifice his life to free Karn from New Phyrexia, but he had to be forced to visit in the first place. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, he does good things, but like, why though? You know what I mean? Like, how selfless is he? How loyal is he? Like, so I wish there was more that I could go on, but I got nothing. Vivian though, I'm kind of wanting, I feel like Vivian's going to end up B tier for me. I think when I started out, I thought Vivian was going to be an A or an S tier, but the more this has gone on and the more I'm thinking about my logic with all these, Vivian's like a B tier. Mostly because, like I said, I feel like there are times, like if you want somebody's going to give you attention, I don't know if she's going to give you the attention like she would the animals and the environment and protecting her beast and whatever, which, you know, that's a positive quality all its own. but not enough to get you up higher in the ranks, I don't think. I think a solid B tier is probably what I would give her. But she does have a little bit of that whole, like, you know, animals are better than people kind of a thing. Yo, she knows all of the hot elf chicks. I mean, she would. That's true. She probably would be friendly with all of them. That's very true. But yeah, I think Vivian's a B for me. I think that's where she falls here. I like, again, I'm good, right? You know, she's probably all right most of the time, but like, don't accidentally, like, you know, scare off a puppy or something. That could be it. Let's see. That's a good summary of Vivian. She's also the kind to hold a grudge. Well, that's true. Everybody holds a grudge against Bolas, so I don't really hold that against anybody. All right, Vraska is next one up. Vraska, in a way, is kind of a tough one too, sort of. Because, like, it's easy to look at Vraska and be like, okay, she's a Gorgon and all this, and like, so it should automatically, like, drop her down. But at the same time, that whole adventure she had with, like, Jace and trying to work her way around and turn on Bolas or whatever, like, I don't know what that says about Vivian. Like, has she found her way to be a better person now? Is it still just like, it was the right thing to do at the moment, so she did that thing? Or like, you know what I mean? Because I don't think I could give her a D or an F, right? She's come through a bit and said like, hey, look, like she's willing to do right. She's worked towards some positive things. So like, I gotta respect that to some level. So what if we go B tier? How upset would people be with B tier on Vraska? Because I feel like that's probably correct. And I don't think too many people should have an issue with that. I think that's totally reasonable. All right, cool. Everybody's good with that then. That is true. She does have the whole pirate problem too. She is a pirate assassin. So, I mean, you got to keep that in mind. She can't be A or S tier. That's for sure true. I don't think she could go higher. And then the only other ones we have here is that's the landfall, or the land-based Planeswalker dude, the cat guy. Crap, what is that dude's name? Why am I not remembering? It's on the list, so we're going to do it. It's already here. There it is. Lord Windgrace. There you go. All right. Now, I think Windgrace has the same problem you have. Well, again, we don't know much about the character. You do have the issue like you would with Ajani, and we couldn't give Ajani A tier because people have cat allergies. So that's already a thing. So I think just for lack of knowledge, we're going to go and have to put Lord Windgrace into the C tier. Not knowing anything, can't go better or worse. I think that's pretty fair. Well, that's it. Y'all let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree. If somebody should have been ranked higher or lower. Did you even like this type of content at all? Should we do more of this? Should we rank more things? I think that could be a lot of fun for everybody. But y'all let me know if you like this type of content or not, because it's something I don't know of anybody else doing. So I figured I'd just take a shot at it. But it was highly entertaining and fun for me, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. As always, remember, join the channel if you want any more of this wacky content. Please support. And remember to please like the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and hit that notification bell. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.